It's February already, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for new phones. At its Galaxy Unpacked event today, Samsung announced 3 new phones in its S23 lineup. There is the S23, the S23 Plus, and the S23 Ultra. Now, we made a whole separate video telling you all the details about the S23 Ultra. Make sure you head on over to our channel to check out the details on that. For this video though, I am going to focus on the S23 and the S23 Plus. We shall call them the babies of the family. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you there's not a lot different here. The S23 might as well be the S22. So if you're considering upgrading from just last year's model, think twice. What has changed this year? First of all, the screen is a little bit brighter than before. It can now hit up to 1750 nits of peak brightness outdoors. Indoors or in regular light conditions, it can go up to 1200 nits. So if you've found yourself in need of a brighter screen to stare at while you work outdoors or when you're at the beach, for example, this might be the reason you upgrade. The other thing that's different this year are the color options. The S23 and the S23 Plus will be available in the same phantom black, cream, lavender, and green colors that the S23 Ultra is available in. Hey, I suggest you get the green. One other obvious change is the back of the phone. Now, instead of using the contour cut sort of casing that the S22 and S21 had, the S23 and the S23 Plus no longer have a little housing for the camera module on the back. Now the cameras just look like little pimples on the back, arranged in a neat row, and they look very similar to the Ultra variant right now. The cameras themselves haven't changed. On the back, the S23 and the S23 Plus still have the same triple camera system as their predecessors. But on the front, in the display, the selfie camera has gotten a serious upgrade. They are now 12 megapixels sharp, up from 10 megapixels before, and now support dual pixel autofocus and dual face recognition-based optical image stabilization. I couldn't really put this to extreme testing at our very controlled hands-on. I just tried to hold out the phones and shake my hand a little bit while I'm taking the pictures. And I did notice 2 squares come up to recognize my face and our producer Joel's face. And the picture did turn out with our faces both very clear. So it seems to work, but this is something we'll need to get a unit out in the real world to test before I can say for sure if it's effective. Most of the changes that the S23 series has that are different from the S22s are not things that you can really see with the naked eye. For example, they are covered with Corning's Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which is partially made from recycled materials. Powering all of this under the hood is a custom version of Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, and the custom version for Samsung is called the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy. It's supposed to bring better performance by way of higher clock speeds, as well as perhaps better battery life through better efficiency. Speaking of battery life, the S23 and the S23 Plus have slightly larger batteries than their predecessors, with a 3900 mAh and a 4700 mAh cell respectively. While the S23 Plus and S23 Ultra will support super fast charging 2.0, the S23, the baby S23, will only give you super fast charging. All 3 S23s will also run One UI 5.1, which brings some personalization updates that One UI 5 didn't before. These include some additions to the Material You Like theming, so you will get more color palette options when you're generating schemes from the wallpaper you've chosen. But a lot of other new features from One UI 5.1 are very similar to iOS 16. For example, customizing your lock screens by long pressing on them looks remarkably similar to the version on iPhone. You can change the font and color of your clock widget, but you can also change up not only the status indicators below the clock widget, you can also add a message on the bottom of the lock screen for anyone who may pick up your phone by accident. So back off, for example. There are also other updates with One UI 5.1, for example, a new Smart Suggestions widget, widgets that you can stack. There are new image clipper tools that you can use not only the S Pen, but also your fingers to get the system to recognize an object from its background and then transfer that to another app as a sticker, and so much more. We went into detail of all these software updates in our video for the S23 Ultra, so if you have time and are curious, make sure you go watch that video. Now, given this is such an iterative sort of upgrade year, it's no surprise that Samsung has kept the price of the S23 series the same as the predecessor. If you're looking to score a deal, Samsung already has pre-order bundles for you if you sign up on the website now. For all the details on what other special deals you can get or how to pre-order, make sure you go to Engadget.com because we have a story there for you. But if you're still not sure on whether you need to be upgrading to the S23s this year, make sure you wait for our full review. For that and more good stuff on the world of consumer technology, make sure you subscribe to Engadget. In the meantime, hey, leave a comment telling me what your favorite color of the S23 lineup is, and until next time, stay green. I mean, it's sustainable and it's the new color, and we should all be green.
No, I get that.
It's not easy being green.